Alright, so has this ever happened to you? Just driving along, but your speedometer's not going anywhere and you can't shift? Well, today we're going to attempt to fix that. We're just stuck in gear, presumably second, based off the RPMs, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to go ahead and start with the vehicle speed sensor. I went ahead and pulled a code for it. The battery's dead, or had died, so it lost the memory of that, so I can't show you. But we're going to go ahead and replace that and see if that fixes our problem. Alright, so today, as you can see, we're going to be working on the 04 S10, and what you're going to need is obviously you're going to need your sensor. You're going to need a socket that's going to fit over that because it's kind of tight in there. If you're committed to it, just because, I would definitely get the new part first, figure out what size fits around it, and then go from there. I did also forget to mention that the speedometer does intermittently work, but more often than not, it does exactly what you've seen in the video. It just kind of sits there at 0. But when it does kick on and kicks up and shows you you're doing, hey, 20, 30, whatever you're doing, everything does shift in the transmission, everything like that. So, being that there was a code for it, I'm just going to go ahead and replace it because it was only like $10. This is going to be a Dorman code, or Dorman sensor, sorry. Part number 917616. We're going to go ahead and get underneath there and kind of show you where we're at. So, obviously this is the driver's side. I have a creeper, I've got it jacked up a little bit, I've got a rim underneath it. I think kind of help keep it steady. Watch your head, low clearance. So, being that this is a 4-wheel drive, the sensor is going to be right here in the transfer case. As you can see, front drive shaft leading up to the jack, rear drive shaft, gas tank, rear axle. I do know that it matters, or at least from what I've seen, it matters on front or 4-wheel versus rear-wheel drive. If it's a rear-wheel drive, it would be back there on the axle somewhere, probably on the pumpkin. But we're going to go ahead, try to focus so you can see what's going on here. We're going to go ahead and just try and replace this and see if that fixes our problem. I did look at it at work. I had it up on the rack to kind of check everything out, get an initial list of things I would need. Hey, that came off really easy. Where'd that go? So essentially what you're going to do, if you've never touched a car before, or you have very limited experience, is you're just going to take these ears, just kind of pull out on them a little bit at the same time, and then as you're pulling away from the plug, you just want to make sure these don't get caught on the little ears. Can you see that? Maybe not. You can kind of see there's a little ear right there. It kind of holds this in place. So we're just going to tuck this wire out of the way, potentially grab our socket here. Trying to do this one-handed. And hopefully they're the same size and they didn't change on you. So I might need to set this down to use 2 hands, but we'll see. And give her a little yuts. Or alright. Bigger ratchet. Alright. We got our bigger ratchet here. And by that I mean broken torque wrench. I'm not left-handed on a good day. So, oh, there we go. Just a little bit of oomph. You see she's spinning out. So that wasn't too bad. In Ohio, it's a little questionable, especially northeast, on whether something's going to move or not. So let's see if that comes out by hand now. Oh yeah. She's just screwing right out of there. Now, it looks like, is there going to be fluid that comes out of this? Please don't drip on my head. You might need a drain pan. I do have the engine tilted up. And to the back. There shouldn't be, but look at that. So, I don't know if you can see that real well. No obvious signs. I mean, there's... Oh! We just ate a sensor, guys. There was no obvious signs of damage. I don't know if maybe that should be concerning. I don't really know what they're supposed to look like. I've never had to do them before, but... Well, let's see where that went. Alright, so that only rolled halfway under the truck. So, there's nothing real obvious. I know the camera kind of sucks. You guys can't really see it, but... The only thing is just, it's kind of got this sludge on it. So maybe that's just fouling up the magnet. Right there. And maybe it can't get a good reading. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not really a driveline person. I would imagine that's not supposed to be on there. But we're going to go ahead and get the new one in, and we'll take it for a test drive, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so kind of upon further inspection, once I got it out of the vehicle, it kind of looks like maybe shavings from inside the transfer case. Here's what the new one's supposed to look like. I don't know if the camera's going to focus on it enough. But obviously it looks really clean. So I'm guessing that the previous owner kind of was a little rough on it. It may have potentially torn up the transfer case. It may just have dirty fluid. So at some point we might have to change that. But we're going to go ahead and try this for now. See if this is at least a quick fix and points us in the right direction. I would imagine that is the drain. That should be the fill hole. So we're going to go ahead and get this in finger tight, which is pretty much the same direction it was already pointing. And because it wasn't that tight, we're not going to crank on it because it does have an O-ring on there. So I'm just going to get our little ratchet here and just kind of get it back into place. Now, ideally you want a longer socket. I don't have any that are going to fit over the plug and everything, so I have to be careful not to snap that plug. Otherwise, we're just going to be going on a clean up the old one trip. I did keep it, however, in case there's an issue. Because like I said, it did look dirty, so it might just be a fluid issue blocking the magnet. I could have probably got away with just cleaning it, but I wanted to be safe just in case. So that's not pointed in the same direction, but that's not going to matter as long as it gets the right signal. Now, I don't know, I guess I should have checked whether or not it matters which way these wires go. I don't know if you can see that. One of them's green. One of them looks purple with a white stripe. So you got green with a black stripe and purple with a white stripe. So we're going to try it out. I think it's just looking for a signal, so I don't think it's going to matter which way it goes. Maybe it does. It does, because look at the plug. So you can't put it in backwards because it's got a little bridge on the back of it, so it'll only go in one way. Alright. That's plugged in, new sensors in. I'm going to go ahead, drop the vehicle down, and we'll take you for another test drive, and you can find out real time if this worked or not. Alright, so here we are on the initial drive. I noticed that the date on my camera is wrong, but I'm not real worried about that. Just kind of a real quick, hey, look at this. My initial thought is that the sensor was just dirty, and I probably could have gotten away with just taking it out and cleaning it up. Because you can see, maybe you can't. It's already kind of picking up a little bit off of the 0. And that's just going in reverse. So, I think if we would have just cleaned it, we could have gotten away with it. Because I've never had to change one of those until today. So let's see what it does. Oh, would you look at that? Speedometer works fantastic. Ooh, what is that sound? That sounds terrible. So, yes, the new sensor works. Could we have gotten away without it? Also, probably. So if you're having a problem where your transmission does not seem to shift, your speedometer does not work, what are you doing, dude? Watch where you're going. Go go ahead, try taking that sensor out first. I think it said it was a 26 would have worked. Or no, 25 would have worked, but it wasn't long enough or deep enough. Go ahead, try taking that sensor out first, see if that works, and then clean it up. If not, then go ahead and replace it. Kind of save yourself. It was $10 on Rock Auto. Sounds like once we hit 30, it sounds like we have like a grinding or a whirring noise. But we weren't even able to hit that before, so start with the little things that help us diag the bigger things. What is that? Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you got something out of it that you can use for your vehicle. And stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. I'm out.